John Proxy and welcome to Proximity. I'm having Disco Elysium adventure. I think I'm done with this place. Yeah, I've got to talk to Placentone Dice Maker and visit the nightclub after the Ravens have moved in. So I'm still talking to these guys, but...
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000!
He waves his hands in an unbelievably lame, non-hardcore manner.
Static vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
He looks at the imposing black box in the corner that's churning out
the
sound.
only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, detective?
Should I go down the list or just come up with one? Kim, how would you name the club? I wouldn't have built the club and I wouldn't name it either. Underground place with no name sounds like something the Crabman would say. We're not going with anything the Crabman would say. Why not? The Crabman has ideas at SLA. Ideas from another level of consciousness. I don't care. I don't like the Crabman and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please. What do you propose as a name, Andre? The name. He appears to mull it over. One hand idly touching his hair. Everything I managed to come with sounds just wrong. Andre's overthinking it, says the girl with the microphone. Yes, you should do it, detective. The speed freak with yellow beads around his neck is looking at you. It would be good for the signs. No, it's right. You helped us so much. It's the right thing to do. Sally, what would you suggest as a name? How about simple, like the club? Too modern. Andre shakes his spiky head. And too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want a real and true beautiful, like a morning after the rave. The morning after the shave as well. This guy here. Egghead, you must have a lot of ideas. Yokokata, the freak with the large head, yells from the stage, waving his hand in the air. Yokokata, the place to be! Yokokata, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, Egg. Got anything else? Hardcore! A witless, victorious smile adorns his face. Hardcore to the mega! No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Andre looks worried as he comes to this realization. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene. Noid, give me your 2 cents on the issue. The Amnesia. Like, I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia. Amnesia! It's not Amnesia, guys. Suna, do you have an opinion on this? I don't. Good, we have too many opinions anyway. I think I've come up with a name. Of course it is. Disco Elysium. Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean Elysium. But Disco Elysium, she looks unsure. Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten? The past is the future, and the future is dead. No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave, like I want it to be. And short and memorable. Help Ravens start the nightclub. Yeah, Weatherchill West would have been rubbish. Settled in, everyone. Welcome to the Disco Elysium. A light beam washes over the dance floor, bathing it in violet blue. The wind brings some snow in from a broken gallery. It wraps you in its embrace, cold and luminous. You should return to the mural soon, to the one that said tomorrow is just a whisper away. Andre breaks into a frenzied dance like a motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow, join in with the experience. Start tapping your foot. This feels good, feels right, but what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs? What are you doing, Andre? I'm dancing. He performs yet another strange pattern of moves. Doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it looks kind of lame. That softcore gyrating is supposed to be dancing. We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called dancing. Yes, my man. He jumps up and down with glee. His moves punctuated by stroboscopic flash of club lights. Talk. What is there to talk about? You can express yourself with moves. Audio waves thump against your ribcage. Speaker setup makes everything sound better, but there's a noticeable lack of something. composure 4. And very low. Oh, is it because my composure is too high? Close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music to life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on the face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juice flowing and repairs some of the damage done to the battles lost. If you want a dose of the truly dance, who knows what will happen. Salvation. Been meaning to ask you, what's with the hair? God, composure has to be super high. To express my individuality. Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding. Is it important for you to be an individual? Of course it is, otherwise I'd be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes. Fair enough. He looks at the molten toothbrush. Maybe it was a bad idea anyway.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Composure. This is such a waste. Goodbye, officer. Oh yeah.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Ah. You know what? I could have put on
Just
better clothing.
imagine the moves you could.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. Magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about low magnesium levels and not the higher. So this is the first time I've done any talking today, and I'm clearly struggling. I'm going to try again. Sorry about that. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels, not the high alcohol levels. I fucking knew it wasn't the alcohol or the other things. Yeah, the other things. Long live the other things. Made you strong as ox, they have. But there's a lack of magnesium in me. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream. So I need to mag it sideways. Mag it sideways? What are you talking about? You need to mag it up? You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. The only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium. You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form? Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to ascend the carbon barrier, go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage done to your circulatory system. What? No shakes. Ah. It's generally understood that human beings are carbon-based organisms fusing little carbon tubes to form complex mushy structures capable of thought, love and locomotion. It's also known that these structures sometimes like to take the edge off by consuming ethanol, amphetamine, and in such cases it's important to supplement your body with magnesium. Tired? Mag it. Down? Mag time. Liver damage? Maximum mag. Some people say magnesium doesn't really do anything, you just need to quit. But what do we tell them? I don't know. I don't know if it's that important for me to... And it puts my shakes down. Shivers. My shivers is quite low as it is. I do kind of wish I put some clothes on for... Might work. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that though. Alcohol is not the problem. And certainly not dextroamphetamine. No smoking for 40 years, it's a lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee, it wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system. It's probably too late now, but can I put composure clothing on? Clothing? No, it doesn't work. Yellow, John. Shoes. Coat. It's probably too late now. But yeah, I could have done a couple of things.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
That's a shame. Put so much into composure and it didn't work. These things happen though. Shoes and coat.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Drops a bolt into his toolbox. Why are you so suspicious about everything? Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced. Why are you called Noid anyway? It's short for paranoid. May I ask, what good is being suspicious? Reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyse the situation, exercise caution. Caution is suspicion. What are you suspicious of? Oh, why, it'd be easier to list the stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Want to steal your life anyway. It should be good. Dangerous line of questioning. You should prod on him. But what are the most suspicious things? I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of. But if I had one, the left-right complex would be the number one. Number two would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm. Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way round. Don't you mean the left-right paradigm and the pig-wheat complex? Nope. Politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid, probably in Grad. Tell me more about this left-right business. I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movements only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone, the end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray, far from our true lives. But we may yet find a way back. Whatever this true life is, you feel it's a real centerpiece of this mythology. What's suspicious about the production of pork and wheat? It's our only shit, he shrugs. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain or ourselves. What's bad about animals? Animals are cute. Nothing. Animals are cool, guys. I like animals too, but it doesn't mean I have to be one myself. Does this mean you're mentally ill? Mental illness is a term that power is used to homogenize, John. Homogenize people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I'm merely politically ill, a suspicious element. Well, that was certainly stimulating. I want to ask you about something else now. You mentioned true life. What would that be like? A life is true if it's free from fear and internal division among oneself and others. Mankind is the seed of greatness in it. The germinal will come, return to trueness. It'll be hardcore. How would you go about returning to this true life? Beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods, nerve impulses for collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. A hard enough beat would awaken anyone to their true calling and unity. Just like that, the speed freak is right in your face, with his eyes burning. His comrades look on worriedly. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis, emphasis on unity, appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does this sort of remind you of? Sort of like fascism then? Nationalism, militarism, racism, emphasis on leader character are totally absent in hardcore. Words echo through the church majestically. Fair enough, just make an observation. Picks up a wrench and scratches his head with it, unaroused by fascism. So you keep advocating a noise-based society. Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their heart, thus they are closer to true hardcore life. It's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion. You keep mentioning hardcore. What does it mean to you? Utmost dedication, thoughts from the spinal cord. It's a potent superlative as well. The term also signifies certain variety of pornography that depicts penetration, just so you know. Egghead actually has a better concept of hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore. Hardcore! Friend shouts from behind the mix table. With a smile surpassing your own in weird wideness. I don't have a smile right now, game. A total moon face and eyes full of naive wonderment. The term hardcore also denotes a strain of pornography that depicts penetration. Did you know that? It's a pretty hardcore coincidence, don't you think? Yeah! Let's change the subject. Conceptualization godly. Internalize the hardcore aesthetic. Don't just nod along, really feel it. Did catch the key, and I hardened up my ledger. Yay! Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You'll have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need to make your own entry. Make it. Logic. Jumping around as this sort of music requires is actually taxing physical activity. It should be dignified with a sports suit. I'm thinking the wearing of sports apparel as my hardcore get up to maximize the mobility of limbs. See the sunshine, we ain't stopping, keep on dancing till the world ends. If you fear it, let it happen. Keep on dancing till the world ends. I've got in the thought of hardcore aesthetic. Let's have a look. Fuck grammar. Not only have you internalized the hardcore aesthetic, you've also contributed to it. How hardcore could you possibly become? Low-core people, come around to correct your typos. It's hardcore here and hardcore there. Hardcore in the third instance. What's going on? Those aren't typos, man. That's how hardness works. We don't know hardcore from our happy hardcore. And what the fuck are we even talking about? I love that there's an entire section of the game dedicated to hardcoreness, and it's around the church. I mean, it sets it in a date as well, obviously. Hardcore is slightly too old for me. Like, I know what happy hardcore is, and I know people who take speed. But they took speed after the heyday of speed. Bloody speed. Yes, so I've been sober around people taking speed as well, and it's very fun. Take care, Noid. Ooh, Belled mural. Yeah, that seems important. Asele, she's whistling a melody. Her trusty contact mic attached to the wooden pulpit. At the sound of your footsteps, she stops what she was doing and turns to you.
Hey there. I've been recording some audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But like underwater inside a tree.
Cool. She gives you a shy smile. Yes, I'm being more like Contact Mike. Alright, don't bring it up. I wasn't going to. Cut you off before you can finish the sentence. No. I actually wanted to thank you for getting me and my friends in here. We even found a new associate, such as they are. How's everyone doing? Good, I think. Nordy's getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Again's keeping the party up. He's got the stage under control. Tuna, the programmer, she's doing whatever she does. Behind that radio computer of hers, she doesn't talk to us much. The crabman hasn't shown himself, thank God. Now, can you tell me about your associates? Sure. You helped us out, I can repay the favour. What do you want to know? Tell me about Suna. She's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk very much. I'm not sure how to vibe with her, you know. Seems like she's not in a very good mood most of the time. But earlier today, she told me about the Welkins. Sally grimaces, as if it's the first time hearing the word. And she seemed oddly happy, like she had some idea, those little creatures. Some artistic idea. I didn't really listen. I was busy with my mic. Oh, of course they're elves. Tell me about Diego. Oh, the crab man, she shudders. Still gives me the creeps, the way he moves. But he doesn't actually come down that much, just climbs around the rafters. I tried to stay away from the crab man, but he talks to Noid. They seem to have something going on. Oh, he talks to Noid, what for? Beats me. Noid says they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess. What does he do up there? Who knows? She shrugs. He doesn't really answer our questions, see? Not that it's easy to ask them. What are we supposed to do? Yell up the tower? Thanks. And about the others? Tell me about Andre. Andre, he's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he is. To me, at least. He takes care of shit. Sorry. I mean, he's got a vision of what life should be, you know? I'm gonna drink some tea. Tries to push things until everything falls into place. He's an organizer. What has he organized? Nothing. But then again, there was nothing to organize around here either. He really wants this church thing to work. Must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. I don't know where he got that from. She smiles. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched about anything though. He's often psyched. Looked sort of desperate. Like it was his last chance or something. Or maybe he was just high. I mean, not that he does drugs. Just high, you know. On life? Yes, anyway. Is Andre your boyfriend? Yes. I'm not going to talk about balding, it's just a dick move. Tell me about the others. Who do you want to know about? Tell me about Noid. He's a Faulborger, I guess, like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg. I don't know about him, but Noid and the rest are from Faulborg making the pilgrim up to north to visit the Elysium. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle. What does he do? What do you mean, do? Like for a living? Yes. He's a carpenter. Trained and all. He's very good. He just doesn't have the mindset to work like that. In a shop somewhere. It's because Noid is violently hardcore. I have internalized it. I understand why he doesn't stoop to servitude. Do you? Well, you really have talked to him. She smiles. Indeed, Noid serves no master but the beat. And you? Sir. She gives you a switchblade smile. I abide by the law. A strange feeling. Every now and then, something feels off about the way she speaks. She doesn't change tone, but you feel as though there's more about her than she lets on. What is this pilgrimage you're talking about? It's just something that poor Faulborg kids do every spring to pass the time. We walk the entire length of Boogie Street up to Jamrock, as much as possible. Where would that be? I don't know, man. Have you been down to Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I not told you that I'm a raging alcoholic who recently drank himself into oblivion, so deep that he can't even remember what it sounds like? What sounds like the biggest street in the city? Kind of? I'm gonna say yes. Well, I am. Okay, you should go and take a look, I guess. Boogie Street is cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people. I might just do that, if I make it there alive. Yeah, she says. I hope you do. Actually, tell me about the others. What's the deal with Egghead? What do you mean? What does he think he's doing when he yells all that stuff? Oh, that. He's the party boy. He told me as much, but what exactly is a party boy? Melodic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That is to say, a bit backwards. No offense if you like rock music, though. Rock music is cool by me. P'tu p'tu shwesh. Your credentials as a resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show her you're hip with the times, Gramps. Goddamn right, rock music is the coolest. Rock music forever. Yes, she nods studiously. Forever. Anyway, even if you don't have the vocals, You still need someone to say something every now and then, right? To urge things on? That's where Party Boy comes in. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is. It's very catchy. I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance, sneezing makes you sneeze, or yawning makes you... He looks around, a little embarrassed of the enthusiasm of his interjection. Anyway, where's he from? How long has he been with you guys? Actually, we don't know where he's from, or who he is actually. One time we were out partying somewhere in the backward Faubourg, or maybe even Coal City. I can't remember. Maybe it was Coal City. The worst of the balloonous... What? I don't know what that means. Banlieues? A wretched heap of closed-down mines, even west of Jamrock, on the dusty slope of Montmartin, the remotest possible area of Revachol. No one wants to exploit those people anymore. Edgar was yelling along to some jams. Someone was spinning all night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines, there were mines. Yes, it was in Coal City, she nods. Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog noise sound all the way back. Couldn't even speak. It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the Fow. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked him why he came with us, or who he was. I think his name is Germaine. People are sweet, she says quietly. You can see it must have been a great night. The memories causes her to go silent for a moment or two. You wish you'd been there? Tell me about the others. Actually, do tell me about yourself. Me again? Yes, I forgot. Tell me about yourself. I told you, I'm a silver bird. That's that phrase again. It reminds you of something. What does that mean? It means I don't answer questions about myself. There's more to you than you let on. What am I not seeing? Alright. He picks up the tape recorder and looks you in the eye. There is. Fair enough. Thank you. Thank you. Some other questions. Catch the silver bird. Reaction speed 3. Oh my word! That was a really low chance. Oh, Passaro d'Argent. It flutters by your ear. It's what the Layaki, the Gradian community in Revachol, call a person who never breaks under interrogation. An organised crime turn. Oh, Passaro d'Argent. Excuse me? She casually brushes her hand through her hair. She's attempting to remain calm, but the phrase has made her flinch. I remember now. The Zimlayaki term. For someone who won't break under questioning. An organised crime term. What do you mean? The silver bird. Alright, she concedes. My father was a Zimlayaki. He died years ago. He was a bad man. Not a lot of good things to say about him. And what he did. Bought the family a huge house. So we got to live, at least temporarily, in a giant castle in Jamrock. Then he died. What happened next? What do you think? The competition came and took everything away. It was like a war zone. She gritted her teeth. So after his death, we had nothing left, and we were in danger. My mother had to change her name. Mine too. We left it all behind. Are you sure about that? What about this drug lab plan? It was a stupid idea, and I'm disappointed I came up with it. Aren't there any local authorities who might look down on such activities? I took that into account, of course. Coordinated the operation with the debardeurs, else they might get unhappy. What you're saying is Everard authorised this? Not in person, but I let them know. You can't do anything without the fat ones getting wind. It wasn't too difficult to convince them, really. It was a good thing you ended that mess, though. I felt it was turning dad-wise to a corrupt business person. Unpleasant. We should confront Everard about this. Maybe we can manipulate him using the information. Add it to the list. No, I don't think it would lead anywhere with Everard. He's just going to deny it. Yeah. She really draws out the word. Have you ever seen Everard? Actually, that's it. No. Thanks of distilled water. Those nose-fed bottles. Looks like a tiny chemistry lab. Cool. So this is where they've set up the drug lab.
Yes, what is it?
I think we're done here. We'll go look at the mural again. It's too late to go back and do stuff, isn't it? But my composure's full now, which is a shame. That's the phone. Oh, it's not there anymore. We could put on our shiver clothes. I wish there was a quick way of doing this. Okay, coat, t-shirt. That's another coat, isn't it? And it's minus. Right. How about that? Listen to the wind. What am I doing here? Terrible cold. Comes over you like, as you think for the words, they echo in your skull. Alien suddenly. As if said by someone else. Someone outside you. Around you, not you. Lieutenant looks at you, shiver. Worry suddenly we should go. It gets cold if you stand in one place for too long. We have a lot of room to actually upgrade it. Have we not wasted it all on composure? Oh, our new people. Do we want to talk to... Yeah, of course we want to talk to new people. Savoir-faire. The boat in the boathouse today. Section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Maybe this up the other mural. A scattering of bullets holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. Why this many bullet holes? Oh wow. A row of ghostly shades stands facing the wall. There are many of them. A dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. No movement. 10 meters away, the other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fullest sadding. Rain and brine has since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. What is this? The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscious round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution, with everyone fully armed. Look at the people against the wall. A host of men probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict, and almost covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, demonstrated by the high level of the bullet holes. They stand facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Look at the line of soldiers. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from the some side, but from which one? Look at the person standing on the side. Commandant, the one who gives the order, machine gun fire crackling through the air. The light of the muzzle flashes, dancing on his face. Kim, who was in this execution? At first the lieutenant doesn't say a word, he just stares at the wall. I don't know, he says finally. I don't know who died here. Lined up beside that horrible wall. Could have been any party involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. Remember what Trant Idlestam said about the Feld. What if it were the Feld personnel, and their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries? Lieutenant nods. Another likely scenario. Or maybe... You mentioned coalition forces. Could it have been them against the wall? Yeah, it was very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if the coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, his superior giving the orders. Goodbye. Cold sea wind blows up away the figures. Behind this building, the other one, the one with the engineers and the designers of Feld Electric, now collapsed and dead, but for some rats you feel drawn, for some reason, to the faded mural again. There we go! Can I get out there? An ancient paint is peeling off the roof from the shaded bench covered in harassed. Sign says on entry into tight. Old ticket taker booth no longer in operation. People paid money to park here. No one would pay now. I don't actually want to go in, do I? Ooh! +2 logic, -1 perception. +2 encyclopedia. That's a... It actually puts my perception down, but it gives me a cool hat. And it makes me more logical. Right, fam. This door is not only barred shut, it's inaccessible. Door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? There's no way the pup is in here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed. And I try to get in there. Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable. But I'd like the spirit and have some points. Have some points. It's lonely and cold without points. And dangerous. Dangerous too. Nothing more to do here then. Kim, do you think she's in here? Pointed to the boarded up building. The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in. He inspects the bars. Though many have tried. Nothing more to do here then. I suspected that would help with the other one. Though I obviously didn't see the visual calculus thing happening. put on my shivers clothing. What must Kim think? Ah, bollocks. Take off the feeling. Weep. I'll get you. Tiny cages carefully constructed. Soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. They still won't light up. Almost impossible to get a fire going in this near to the ocean. I know there's two people, I'm just looking at things first. Heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes. Crumbling. Could this be the buoy Classier told you about? Small buoy or boy? This is what they call them in the UK. It looks, as in the word buoyance. A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. First it looks like trash, but if you look closer, that over there, he points to the strange looking object, must be the buoy Classier told us about. You know what? If I'm saying Classier, I should say buoy, shouldn't I? The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look. Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies. Pick up the buoy. You lift the buoy up out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottle appear to be of cut. Sniff the buoy. It smells like you would expect it to smell. Concentrated version of the coast, salt, industrial slop and decay. Shake the buoy. Nothing hidden in there splashing around. Examine the plastic ball. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long and is already discoloured and slimy with silt. A latch holds it closed, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch is cracked. Simple construction, very unsafe. Open the buoy. A shot glass worth of seawater pours out, some algae and nothing else. Well, damn. We're lucky it's still here. A little longer and it would have floated away. Lieutenant flashes a mirthless half smile. We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. No documents. Who do you think took them? I have no idea. The lieutenant taps his foot, frowning. This is not a minor quirk. We know what was in the... This is a minor quirk, sorry. We know what was in the buoy anyway. He pursed his lips. Or think we do. This is a small loose end either way. Not important, I hope. Maybe Classier took them herself? It may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing for... he sighs. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go. You could ask Miss what she thinks later if you have time, though you'll doubt she'll tell you much at this point. I have no idea. Do you have any theories, Lieutenant? Yeah. Okay, let's let you go. I'll talk to these two on the next episode. I'm going to save the game. I've been John Proxy. I've been having a Disco Elysium adventure in a little case because we managed to name a nightclub that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.